I can't do intro music anymore. YouTube will just strike my video, or they'll take it down if I do any more intro videos. So I'm going to give you guys a little impromptu Godsmack. Yeah. Can hardly understand those guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Pig Trail Podcast, Pig Trail Network live show. Been a minute, been a little while. I appreciate you guys stopping by, being here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys would like, of course, feel free to comment, ask questions, whether in chat here. If you have anything through Discord, I did have a couple of DMs in the last week or so. In fact, one of them asking about Moody and KK. Those questions have been answered, rather. So, yeah, thank you guys for being here and giving me those questions. They're answered. Okay, show's over. Bye. Woo pig. I'm just kidding. So, making sure everything here, OBS and YouTube both apparently had some pretty big updates. I'm making sure everything's good to go. Sports news, wowzers. I know, it's something. How are you doing, Dylan? Hope all is well. Celtics for life. Thank you for being in here. Close that out. I'd rather have Mason Jones back than Joe because Mason gets his own shot. Yeah, but we've talked about this before, though, Fishman. Isaiah Joe creates space on the floor. Arkansas is better when Isaiah Joe is on the floor. Let's just be honest, okay? I know that Mason Jones had all the glamour this year. He was pretty much player of the year in the SEC. Let's just be honest. But he is going to test the NBA waters. I would prefer they both come back. That I don't think that's going to happen. I'd said a little while back on the Hog Talk I felt like they were both going to leave, but that was before the coronavirus. So you're talking like, what? God, that's been 6 or 7 weeks ago on the Hog Talk. Kyle and I were talking about. Kyle felt like they both would come back. I'll say this much. Mason Jones is someone who, well, the NBA believes that Isaiah Joe has a lot more quality. They have him outside, not just the NBA, but NBC Sports, CBS. I think they just put out a draft, their first round. They didn't have Isaiah Joe in it. Most of the time, he's a second round guy, right? Like most have him somewhere in the second round. NBC Sports for a while damn near had him a lottery pick. Now, that was before the season started. So Mason Jones, as great as he was this year, I really think the best move for him would be to go pro. I don't know that he can come back and duplicate what he did this last year. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a slim chance of returning one of them. So you're saying you say slim chance to returning one of the. So you believe they both go, Dylan? Is that what you're saying? Anyways, thank you guys again for being here. A lot actually happened today. I know that this is basically a popped up tent of a channel right now. I can only really go live when there's something to talk about. I can't sit here for even just 20 minutes and talk about Netflix, Tiger King. I would love to, but that's not what this channel's for, and so it's difficult to get stuff out. It's difficult to get content out, but again, I do appreciate you guys being here. So all my notes, hold up. I had a whole bunch of notes, and they are gone. I saved it, though. I know I did. Let me find those notes really quick. But, well, maybe I didn't save them. Crap. All my notes are gone. That's okay. I know what I'm talking about here today. So you got all your targets signed today. Well, the last of them signed. KK Robinson signed today. That was a huge, huge deal. Moses Moody, and I had thought about going live on Friday. Moses Moody committing and signing, or signing rather, was a huge deal. Again, I thought that what are the odds that Moody was even going to sign? His recruiting had it just poof, like all of a sudden his camp, everyone in his camp, everything had gone dark. And Moody ends up out of nowhere signing on Friday. Eric Musselman said today he wasn't surprised. They felt like they were going to get all these kids. They got them. And here we are, KK signing Monday. We knew about that. I think it was his dad's birthday, or his grandpa, someone in the family's birthday, and he wanted to sign today and make it extra special. So you've got them all. And you're talking about, on average, this is a top 10 class across the board. Probably the best class they've signed in a while. I haven't even done the research yet, and of course you're going to have who Rivals and 24/7 Sports say is the best and ESPN, so it's hard to you have to put them all together. 24/7 Sports likes to do these composite ratings for each and every player. You kind of have to do that for the class too, and to put things in perspective. This is arguably the best class Arkansas has had in a while. And I can't tell you how big – I felt really good about everyone up until about, I want to say about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Again, Moody, we weren't hearing anything out of Moody's camp. It had gone completely dark, like I mentioned earlier. Him signing Friday, and I so badly wanted to go live. I was like, I'm going to do it. But then I heard KK was going to sign Monday and that there would possibly maybe be some more minor news by Monday. And so I thought, okay, let's just pump the brakes. We'll do this on Monday, and here we are. I just think that this is – I don't know what to tell you guys. Even without Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones, year 2 is going to be special for Musselman. If year 2, if you don't get Joe and Mason Jones back and you miss the tournament, I don't know. That all of a sudden, I think you're going to see the Must Bus start to lose some air in the tires a little bit. You're not going to put it all on his shoulders. After all, we're having a very, I don't even know what to call this offseason. It's wrecking college football. It's wrecking sports across the board. But we're supposed to be coming out of spring camp by now with football. These guys are supposed to be installing offense, learning the new defense. The guys are switching positions. Blaine Toll, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned this, he's now moved from defensive end to tight end. That's kind of old news. I wasn't really sure if you guys were caught up on that. I think that was more or less made public a few weeks back, or maybe a couple of months back. But this is wrecking sports. So it's going to be hard to put blame on any team that loses a will along the way going into the 2020-21 basketball season. But you have to put that to the side. You got to imagine by fall, hopefully this is all gone. I know there's fear about the coronavirus coming back. I know that, but we don't know. We don't know for sure that it does. So we have to imagine in our minds, those of us who follow college sports and talk about it, create content around it. We have to imagine, okay, what if sports happens? What is the outlook? And that's football is a whole other story. I'm not even prepared to tell you guys. I wanted to do a too early poll. What I wanted to do coming out of spring football was to say, okay, here's my too early what I think poll. Wins, losses. We can't even touch that because we don't even know if there's going to be a season or if they push it back or if they decrease the amount of games. We don't know what the hell's going to happen for the 2020 football season. But for basketball, it's like all this stuff is happening, and yet there's so much hype and excitement around this class. There's a lot of hype and excitement, really, there is even around football. I mean, Pittman's, despite his lack of being on social media, there's still a lot of hype around what's going on campus, and obviously that stuff happening around Pittman with the recruiting class. You got to feel good about Kendall Briles. You feel like you actually have a competent OC, not a tight end coach for an offensive coordinator. I went there. Sorry. Craddock was not an SEC or Division I Power 5 football offensive coordinator, and he's what we wound up with. And look at us the last 2 years. It's terrible. Chad Morris was a dumpster fire. But so there's all this hype and excitement, then you have this stupid coronavirus. It's really messing everything up. But again, it's going to be really hard to look back at this offseason and say, well, they didn't get it done in the offseason. The hell they did. You're talking about a top 10 class. And Connor Vanover is going to be eligible. Basketball season has to happen next year. It has to happen. I don't think anybody, even the people who, and I know them, I know one really well who could give a damn about college basketball, and even this individual says, wow, if there's no college basketball, Arkansas fans might lose their minds. This could be a really promising year. Hypotheticals are just such a pain in the ass to deal with. I do feel like one of the two come back. I do feel like it ends up probably being Isaiah Joe. Before the coronavirus, again, I didn't think either one of them were. After, I think Isaiah Joe might. I think he could benefit. We saw him kind of fall off, before, and obviously it was an injury to his leg, to his lower limbs, and or one of them rather, and it really affected his game. And I think everyone from that moment on, well, up until we found out he needed surgery, felt like, okay, he's going to have to come back. It damaged his season. So you got to think about this from his perspective. I come back, I don't get injured. What are the odds of him getting injured again or re-aggravating that same injury? I come back and I boost my numbers. I have as good of a year as I had, maybe even better than my freshman year, because of the fact that now I've got some size underneath. We can play with space and pace, as Musselman likes to call it, and I can ball out and have a hell of a third year and boost my hype and excitement for the NBA draft. And then I get drafted possibly in the first round. I don't know that he is a true, like, I'm a Celtics fan, right? Someone had asked, would you want Isaiah Joe on your roster? Would he start? Maybe. You have to ask yourself, really, is he first-round talent? I think as far as a sharpshooter, there's not very many built like Isaiah Joe. I think he is. But I think he's one of those guys, he's not a naturally gifted first-round. He's not like I'm not going to say Zion or, go down the list of first-round draft picks of the ones that have been, or even just the ones that were drafted and were names before they entered the draft. You knew, like, when Zion went to college, we all knew this guy's going to be a first-round pick. That's obviously not what Isaiah Joe is. He's a guy that's going to have to prove it on film. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make really is that Joe didn't do enough last year. In fact, he hurt himself. He dropped out of the first round. He's going to benefit from coming back. But think about it from his perspective, though. Money in the bank. He's going to get drafted in the second round. Look, if you were 18, 19, 20 years old, you're going to make something. Hell, the G Leagues, they're still going to make something. You always have that opportunity. Even if you get injured, there's still the odds that you're still going to make some kind of money, whereas in college, you might doom yourself coming back. You get hurt, you re-aggravate your injury from a season ago. So there's a lot here at stake for Isaiah Joe. I just feel like he'd benefit from coming back. Mason Jones, like I said, I think he's capped out. I don't know. Obviously, I would love for him as a Hog fan to come back. I would absolutely love that. I just don't see it happening. I don't think that he should. For his sake, I don't see like the point of coming back. Is he gonna outdo what he did this year, really? And think about it. If you come short of what you did a year ago, where do you drop? I mean, again, he's barely looked at as a top 80 prospect. So I don't know. You can do the math. Figure it out yourselves. Is Arkansas slowly reopening like Texas? Just wondering. I think we're getting there, Alex. I don't know that we've had any. I don't know. That's a good question for not this channel. I think massive upgrade on talent for next year. It is a massive upgrade. I do think they were talented a year ago, but one of the reasons why I had them not going to the NCAA tournament, my initial very first preseason preseason pick for Arkansas was 14 to 15 games. I didn't think they had the talent. Outside of Isaiah Joe, who would have guessed Mason Jones, a guy that averaged 15 points a game, would have the kind of year that he had. He benefited from Isaiah Joe, obviously, Witt and Bailey, and he benefited from the guys around him, but most of all, he benefited from Eric Musselman. And if realistically, yeah, he could come back. Maybe he could boost his numbers. I just don't know that. I mean, look, he's not even looked at as a second-round prospect by most people, and look at the kind of year that he had. If I'm him, I'm taking the money and running. Arkansas football and basketball is going to be scary in the coming years. I don't know about football just yet. I'm not there. I'm not saying they're going to be bad forever. I'm not saying they're going to be 2-10, 4-8 forever. I don't know that they have the talent yet to say that they're going to be scary. I don't know that I'm there yet. You're still bottom 5, you're maybe in the back half of the middle of talent in the SEC. You hope you have what's going to matter is obviously the staff. Having a competent staff. Sam Pittman building from the inside out, building a solid offensive line, defensive line doing something we haven't seen in what feels like forever, actually getting pressure on a quarterback consistently. I'm not there yet. I don't know. Basketball, oh my, yeah, we're on the same page. Baseball, I don't know. It's just going to depend on who comes back. I don't feel good about Martin or Kerstad, but obviously they're gone. But football, I'm not there yet. I'm just not. You're trying to build into something. You're trying to build something to be special, right? You're trying to just get there to where like, oh look, we can maybe make a bowl game. Baby steps right now. I don't know, but I can't get behind scary. Now have another solid. Keep having these. Good Lord, have another class like you did. A couple more years in a row. Maybe a little bit better. Maybe crack the top 20 once or twice. Maybe steal some highly touted 4-star prospects out of Texas, out of Georgia, like he's been targeting. If you had a class that had the talent like Knox and Burks and guys like that every year, that caliber of talent, instead of just maybe 1 or 2 of those guys per class, maybe like 5 or 6 of guys like that. Now, Burks, like I said in the Pig Trail Pod, I kind of feel like he's like a once in an every 15-year prospect out of the state of Arkansas. I talked with Barry Grooms from Hooten Magazine the other, how long ago was that now? About a week ago, and he and I were talking about, we were talking about a certain tight end out of Little Rock. But, I mean, look, Treylon Burks, we had him on the Hog Talk. That's where it was. It was the Hog Talk podcast where he talked about Treylon Burks being, honestly, maybe the best athlete he had seen in a long time in the state of Arkansas. But I also was talking to him the other night about a certain tight end prospect out of Little Rock. I'll get to that here in a minute. Let's see. 24/7 composite is 6th. Okay. Yeah, top 8, top 6. With the coronavirus and so many question mark for the future, going overseas to play basketball is less likely. So if not NBA drafted, players might have bigger influence to return. That's a really good point, Mark. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, you can't travel. You're not going to be traveling for a while, especially to Europe. What's good, Ty? What's going on, Doug? Good to be back. Who's Arkansas going after next year? I'm not there yet, Anthony. I'm sorry. KK is the cherry on top. Oh, my gosh. Tell me about it. Craddock. Fishman says Craddock makes him vomit. Saw where Walker's going to go to the G League. Sure is. And I also saw he's going to put it. So he's putting his name in. I read he's putting his name in the 2021 draft. I told you guys, when you guys were asking about him months ago, I said I do not feel good about him. Why don't you talk more about him, Ty? I don't talk about people that aren't coming here or that Arkansas had any. I don't think Arkansas really ever had a shot. I really think it was KU, and then KU got in even more trouble. I don't know what happened during his recruiting process. I never felt good about him being here. I think for a while maybe Arkansas led, but I just never felt confident that he was coming here. And I was getting people in my DMs a while during the beginning of basketball season in our Discord when it was lively, when it was blowing up every day. Not every day, but a lot more. We had people asking a lot about him, and I just had no comment. There's nothing to say. I never felt good about him coming here. Yeah, he's gone. What if Mason Jones comes back to college and transfers? You know what, though? What does Pinto say on Twitter? Hog's gonna hog. I think Eric did great his first year, did more with less. I couldn't agree more. YouTuber Trump, Jones won't come back. With the talent on next year's team, Jones knows he won't be scoring as much. I could see a Final Four appearance in a few years. I don't like to go that far. I'm never the kind. You're never going to hear me say something like that. But Dylan, I don't think you're out of the realm of possibilities. I think that is honestly within the Milky Way, the Razorback Milky Way galaxy. I absolutely now. 3 or 4 years ago, 2-3 years ago with Mike, no, I wouldn't have even been in the same universe. Would have been in another reality, another universe, a Rick and Morty universe. I feel like now he's there's a clear picture, and that's that Arkansas is about to be I'm not going to say immensely successful. I just about did. They're going to be a lot better than where they've been in years past. Don't get me wrong. There were years that were cut short in the tournament because you ran into North Carolina and you would see what North Carolina would go on to do in the tournament. One of those years, but Arkansas, it kind of feels like now they're getting to a point where even if you get a bad matchup, you don't feel as, I don't know, I guess it's just the way Muss coaches basketball. With Mike, if you ran into a certain style that could trump his style, it was all about the matchup. You remember that being talked about. It wasn't always just talent. Look at Butler. I think Arkansas was better than Butler. It was the system that beat Mike Anderson, right? We always heard about how his system clashed. It was real easy to stumble upon some Mike Anderson kryptonite. You would get bad matchups. Although he would do okay in the SEC tournament, he would get into the NCAA tournament and couldn't get past the second round. It was always about the matchups. It didn't matter that he had Qualls and Portis and Gafford unfortunately couldn't taste a whole lot of success here. But it didn't matter that you had usually better talent. Now, North Carolina, no, you don't have better talent than North Carolina. But you were losing to teams, even during the regular season, it seemed like always because of the style of basketball they played. With Musselman, you don't feel like that's going to be a problem. And I'm not saying that that's simply because of talent. Talent is absolutely a factor. But it's more about just his style of play, that space and, what does he call it, space and play or whatever. It feels like it doesn't matter. He's going to have pretty good talent to back it up, also with a system that, very guard heavy. He's finally going to have some height underneath. You just feel like Arkansas is headed to a situation where it's no longer about that. Now it's just about your guys versus my guys. We're going to win some games we're not supposed to win. We're going to go on the road and beat Indiana. We're going to go on the road. Although Georgia Tech was not great or anywhere near it, they weren't really even good. You still went on the road. You got 2 Power 5 non-conference victories. I don't know that Mike, in his first year, I can't remember his first year that well. You can't say that Mike could have accomplished, I don't think. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Someone of Indiana's caliber, maybe he had 2 power maybe at neutral sites or against bad Power 5 non-cons. Maybe he had some wins in the same year on the road. But nobody against, Indiana's caliber that I can recall. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just feel a lot better that Musselman's taking you to a place where it's no longer just about matchups. It's going to be more about, that team's just purely more talented. So, there's something going on in my house. I don't know what that is. Oh, one of my kids tripped the alarm. I don't know if you could hear that. I apologize. All right, we got to wrap this thing up really quick. So, you have this class, or what you're going to have for 2020, assuming we have the season. Moses Moody, Jalen Williams. I'm so happy they got size. Oh, thank God. Jalen Williams, by the way, is short 6'9", I've been told. Devo, 6'4", 175. KK, 6 foot, 175 pounds, but a hell of a point guard, or a hell of a guard. Jalen Tate, Vance Jackson, who, by the way, out of high school was a 4-star prospect. And, so you're going to have those 6 guys all immediately eligible for the 2021 class, or year, rather, your season. Big deal. Big deal. Really quick, we're going to move on to something else, and then we'll have to end it. I want to talk to you really quick about football. There was, you had a commitment from a quarterback. I got to say, so right now you're standing at 3 commitments, all 3, by the way, out of the state of Arkansas. Terry Wells, who's a 4-star prospect, according to 24/7 Sports, but is a 3-star composite overall, 6'4", 292 pounds. Been told that he should possibly get a bump in the ratings. Although these camps that these kids go to that help them, help their ratings, they're either postponed or they're canceled. So I don't know how these kids bump in ratings. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait on the end of their seasons, their 2020 season, the end of their senior season. Marco Avant, 6'3", 215-pound outside linebacker, pretty athletic kid. Terry Wells, by the way, overall number 2 player in the state. It just kind of depends. They have Norwood number 1 and number 2, depending on the site, out of Fort Smith, by the way. Arkansas made his list today. Defensive back out of Fort Smith Northside. So Arkansas made his short list today. So Marco Avant, and then Landon Rogers, 6'4.5", 215-pound dual threat quarterback. His film, go and watch it. I don't think you have to be a subscriber anywhere. I think you could find him on YouTube. Landon Rogers, Parkview Magnet quarterback. This kid has a rock of an arm, and his pocket awareness looks pretty on point and pretty hard to tackle once he leaves the pocket. Pretty fast for someone that size. I'm not saying he's Matt Jones, but pretty quick. I said a little while back, he kind of reminded me a little bit of maybe a better A.J. Derby out of high school. You guys remember what happened to him. He got turned into a tight end. But regardless, Landon Rogers a hell of an athlete, and he plays quarterback. Big kid, strong arm. Watch his film. I'm really impressed, actually, that he's not had bigger offers. He's right now the number 10 prospect in the state of Arkansas. The composite they have him at number 7. His offers include Houston, Kansas, Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns in Louisiana, Monroe. His recruiting. The only individual I could reach out to in the media and talk to about this said that they felt like his recruiting, he was definitely going to get more offers. They weren't entirely sure how many other SEC teams or Power 5 schools had actually offered him or showed interest. There's also his teammate, Aaron Outley, 6'4", 250-pound tight end. He reminds me of a little bit taller version of DJ Williams. Athletic, catches everything. He's got a wide catch zone. I mean, fun film to watch. He looks faster than 6'4", 250 is supposed to go. It doesn't look – you don't think that 6'4", 250 pounds is supposed to move that quick. He moves pretty damn fast. I'm not telling you he runs a lightning quick 40 time. He just looks fast on film for a tight end. His recruiting has blown up. As a matter of fact, since I last looked, he's gotten offers just in the last couple of months from Oregon, Penn State, Michigan State. He's already got offers from LSU, Florida State, Texas A&M, Tennessee. The list just goes on. Mizzou offered him a little while back. I don't think he's seriously considering them as of now. That could change. And Kansas was also the other offer. What is it with KU walking up in our backyard trying to take prospects? Get out of here, KU. Get out of here. Go eat some grass, Les Miles. Aaron Outley needs to be a Hawk. I'm not putting him on commit watch, but I do feel really confident that he ends up being a Razorback. Very, very athletic tight end. Again, 6'4", 250 pounds, rated somewhere in the top 8 overall in the state of Arkansas for the 2021 class. So that's going to do it. I've got a birthday party to go to right next door, as a matter of fact. It's a social distancing birthday party, if you will. So I hope you guys have had, I hope you've been great. We had to fly through this pretty quick. I say that. Let me get caught up on chat really quick. I wasn't too high on Rodgers. I don't know that it's not a home run. You know, they're in on Salter, that 4-star quarterback out of Texas. Apparently, they're taking 2 quarterbacks in this class. I was a little concerned at first about his offer or about him committing. By the way, just like Marco Avant, the day he was offered by Arkansas, he committed to Arkansas. So just something to think about. Diehard Hogs, like they want to be Razorbacks. And I know a lot of people in my chat, they always talk about how badly they want kids like that. Well, there you go. You got another one, 3-star dual threat quarterback. I like his size. I like his athleticism. He's got a lot of work to do in the throwing department. Technique's a little raw. Really raw, actually. But, again, I'm going to try and get some more information on him. I'm going to try and reach out to some people. Oh, my God, I haven't seen your beautiful face in forever. It's so special. You like my haircut, too? It's all proper. Let's see. Brett says, overinflated and saying immediate expectations are the hallmark of any true Hog fan. Ty. Thank you, Brett. Will the hammer ever come down on Will Wade and LSU? Did you guys see this damn HBO documentary? Go watch this thing. The scheme. If you have Amazon Prime, I think HBO comes with that, or maybe you just get like a discount. Get HBO one way or another. Get access to it. Hell, I would love to just sit here and stream it. Just the part where Will Wade is bragging about being able to pay this kid as much as the NBA G League or D League, whatever. The fact that this guy is admitting this and the NCAA has done not a damn thing is mind-blowing. What are we doing here? Who the hell runs the NCAA? Oh, that's right. That's right. We can't get LSU in trouble. The mighty basketball power, the powerhouse of LSU basketball. I mean, give me a break. Will Wade should have been fired back there. He should have been fired a long-ass time ago. Don't get me started on this bullshit. Why this guy still has a job is beyond me. Why LSU isn't being investigated as we speak. Don't give me this coronavirus bullshit. Why does this guy have a job? Why hasn't LSU done the right thing here? He's right there. He is. They caught him red-handed. Nothing. Meanwhile, he's signing 4- and 5-star prospects. They're talking to these coaches. Are you kidding me? Get the hell out of here. Yeah, go watch it. HBO now. Thank you, Alex. Bunch of BS. No, I don't think that it will. I don't think the NCAA cares. Although, if it was someone not important, might be another story. I don't know. All right, I think Malik will be a 3-year starter. Not sure we'll ever see Landon. Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, you're coming in behind that guy. Not to mention Caden Salter. I agree. Isaiah Joe officially declares for the NBA draft, keeping options open. Yeah, I think we talked about that in the beginning. Isaiah Joe did declare for the draft. He didn't sign an agent. So, yeah, that happened today. I don't think that shocked anybody. Good luck to him if he does choose to go to the NBA. I kind of feel like he's coming back. We'll see. All right, that is it. I think we covered just about everything. I don't know when we'll go live next. I have no idea. I'll try to keep you up to date. If you want, join our Discord. Let me pop that up here really fast before I move on. I'll get in trouble if I don't. Well, they changed the settings here. Here we go. Create invite, and I'll get you guys this link really quick. Will Wade. I mean, are you kidding me? This guy. All right, here you go. Boom. There's our Discord. I try to keep everyone up to date in there when, hey, I'm going live soon. If I don't hit it on Twitter or Facebook, I'll post it in Discord. So, all right, you guys be good. Please stay home if you can. Stay away from the elders in your family. I'm trying to wear a mask every time I go out. I'm not doing the gloves, though. I'll do the Germ-X. I can't do the gloves. Gloves just feel weird on me. It's why I don't wear my wedding ring. I don't wear jewelry. I don't like it. I have a hard enough time with the mask, but you guys take care of yourselves. Hopefully you're not going too crazy. Look, Call of Duty Warzone is completely free. It's on PC, Xbox, PlayStation. You've got Animal Crossing on Nintendo. Fun to play with the kids. Keep yourselves preoccupied. Go watch some War Machine Arkansas Razorback videos. That's quality content there. Try to keep yourselves from going insane. I'm doing the best that I can. So, yeah, you guys be careful. Until the next time.